What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. Filming from the desk today. Let me know if you guys like this. Got the cool background going. I'm not able to be quite as animated with my arms and all that stuff in a seated position, but I like the background. Let's take a little vote in the comments if you guys like the standing videos or the seated at the desk videos. Also, a big shout out to everyone that showed up last Friday for the first ever Lightways live. Much love to you guys. Thank you very much. If you were not able to catch it, you can go watch the recorded version right here. I'll also link it in the description below as well. Also going to be doing another live this Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Please stop by and say hi. Would love to interact with you. On to today's topic, spiritual awakening and relationships. I get a lot of messages from you guys that are in relationships where you feel you are awake and your partner is not. So this can cause a lot of vibrational dissonance and is, can be a huge reason why relationships don't stay together. Obviously, if you're, a twin flame and you're in twin flame separation, one being awake, one being not awake is a thing, a real thing. So wherever you are in your relationship, hopefully this video on spiritual awakening and relationships can help provide some peace and clarity on your spiritual journey. So let's get into the video right now. Let's go. Spiritual awakening and other people. So if you identify as awake and you believe that your partner is not awake, that's perfectly fine, as long as you're given plenty of space to grow spiritually, evolve spiritually. You're given space to flourish authentically in a space of non-judgment, and you're happy. This is the deciding factor. As long as you're happy, awake or unawake makes no difference. It's irrelevant as long as you're happy. This is the deciding factor, and I have to address specifically my twin flames out there that may be in twin flame separation, or maybe you're actually together, but you believe your twin flame is this toxic, narcissistic, abusive person. Don't feel like you're on this, you're obligated to do this noble journey of love and sacrifice your own happiness and disrespect your own divinity by putting up with abuse and disrespect in the name of a twin flame. You slap this cute label onto this person, and now you feel obligated to be abused because you've placed them in this twin flame category. No, if you are miserable and they are abusive and toxic, get out. I promise you, it's much better to be single and happy, aka toxicity free, than it is to be miserable. You didn't incarnate to be miserable. Spiritual awakening and relationships. You may find that once you're given the room to grow and evolve spiritually, you may not be as attracted to the unawakened partner as you once were. Here's why. Growing spiritually means you're healing the trauma that the unawakened partner is shining a light on. Oftentimes the awakened partner is bonded to the unawakened partner through trauma. Once you heal the trauma, that trauma no longer seeks validation from the unawakened partner. And that makes that attraction way less intense to the unawakened partner, because you no longer have insecurities that are seeking validation from the unawakened partner that you had those insecurities when you guys first met. So, and this is a normal byproduct of growing and evolving spiritually. You grow into a higher version of yourself that is more sovereign, less approval seeking, less validation seeking, less codependent, less disempowered, etc. You move out of those kind of lack, fear-based vibrations and more into a whole, complete love type of vibration. So If you view yourself as awake, but you're staying with someone that is love bombing, trauma bonding, toxic, disrespectful, you have to ask if you're really doing the inner work and if you're really as awake as you think you are. And it's okay, no judgment if you're not. It just means that you need to do the inner work so that you can, the shadow work basically, step into your sovereignty, your authentic power, and respect and honor your divinity. Spiritual awakening and relationships. Should I stay with my unawakened partner? So this is a question that is pretty common after someone has had a spiritual awakening, because now you're more in alignment with the frequencies of authenticity, freedom, unlimited possibilities, and sovereignty. And you're trying to share this same space, if your partner is unawakened, with frequencies that are in alignment with limited possibilities or fear-based paradigms, negativity sometimes, even emotional immaturity or even manipulation. So there's going to be a lot of vibrational dissonance there. Now, there may have been less vibrational dissonance in the past because the older version of you, or the unawakened version of you, was more in alignment with that dense 3D ego. Remember, a spiritual awakening is waking up from seeing life through the ego's illusion, right? So the person that has had a spiritual awakening, they're more one step removed from seeing life through the ego's lens, which is in alignment with fear. And so it gets a little tough for someone who's operating less from ego to share the same space with someone who may be completely oblivious to the fact that they're being puppeteered by the ego, or may not even know what an ego is. So, and again, that worked in the past because before you woke up, you were more in alignment with those denser 3D energies. Spiritual awakening and relationships. What is it that you're really wanting? Well, you're probably really wanting your partner to wake up, right? And that may happen. Remember, we're all spirit, we're all source waiting to become aware of itself in the physical. So they may wake up. And if they wake up, one of two outcomes is going to happen. It may trigger a bunch of stuff within that they've had repressed that is out of alignment with love. This is going to trigger a dark night of the soul, or an ego death. Remember, ego is in charge of identity. So that old unawakened identity is dying, making space for the new identity. This is the dark night of the soul. If you've had a spiritual awakening, you definitely know what that is. Or maybe they will wake up just a little bit later. Don't have an opinion that they're never going to wake up. Maybe they're just going to wake up a little bit later. Maybe before incarnating, both of you guys decided that you were going to wake each other up on a particular time on each other's timeline. Or maybe they choose to wake up just not on your timeline. Or maybe they chose not to wake up at all for this particular incarnation, which is perfectly fine as long as it is a healthy relationship where you're given room to grow and evolve spiritually from a place of non-judgment, and you're also holding space for their path from a place of non-judgment. After you've had a spiritual awakening, it's very tempting and easy to step into that spiritual ego and judge their path as being unawakened. Remember, they chose their path. Don't judge. Let them learn and experience what they chose to experience after deciding to incarnate. Their timeline is no accident. So don't judge their timeline. Let them learn and experience what they chose to learn and experience. And remember to be flexible as far as your opinion of whether or not they will eventually wake up. Remember, when you had your spiritual awakening, happened in an instant, right? Same thing can happen for them. It can happen in an instant. But again, we want to weigh in the fact if there is any emotional manipulation, narcissistic abuse, disrespecting your worth, stepping over your boundaries of personal safety or worth. So, again, the deciding factor is, are you happy? awakened and unawakened doesn't come into the equation as long as you're happy. Spiritual awakening and relationships. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to let a toxic relationship go, let go of a relationship that is no longer serving you, if you're doing the inner work, healing that trauma that has you bonded to this unawakened person, I promise you it's not going to hurt as bad as you think it will, because that trauma is no longer seeking validation from this unhealed person because that trauma is healed. You will step more into a sense of completeness, wholeness, and perfection, which is your authentic truth. And that sense of completeness is not going to feel incomplete by letting something go that no longer serves. So as long as you're doing the work, then you can let that relationship go, and now there is space for the universe to bring what is a vibrational match to what you think you're worth. I have to make that caveat. Yes, the universe will bring you your vibe tribe, your new match, but the universe always brings you what you think you're worth. This is why it's so important to do the inner work and heal the trauma so that you can step into a higher level of love, wholeness, and completeness. And that's what the universe will match you with. The universe knows who it is masquerading around as that is a vibrational match to your new level of self-worth, self-love, and self-respect. Spiritual awakening and relationships. Remember, the universe is always consciously expanding. And since we are the universe masquerading around as humans, that means we are constantly expanding, growing, and evolving. This means that eventually we become a completely different person than we were yesterday. So if you're in a relationship that you are unhappy with and you know it's no longer serving you and there's a lot of vibrational dissonance, it just means that you are no longer the person that you were when you first met. This means that the unawakened partner is in love with an old version of you that they don't make anymore. So this is a natural part of spiritual growth and evolution. And if you are unhappy and that relationship is no longer serving, the universe will bring you a vibrational match to your new level of self-worth, assuming you're doing the inner work. First, we will do quote of the day, and then we will do question of the day. Here is today's high vibrational quote. Now, question of the day. Are you brave enough to honor your divinity and let go of a relationship that is no longer serving you? Ooh, we ask the tough questions here at Lightways. No bubblegum questions for the Light fam. Remember, we have the second Lightways live this Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Check it out. Hope to see you guys there. Love interacting with you guys. Until next time, I will see everyone in my Light fam. I think I messed that up. And I just realized I'm not able to do my my little thing anymore. So while I'm sitting down, so we have to think of a new gesture to make. Anyway, light, love, and abundance. I'll do the Macarena. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.